back to my channel. My name is Mia and you're watching Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, here we go again. Mama, how can I forget you? Today I am going to talk to you guys about Vbac, vaginal birth after cesarean, and I just wanted to give y'all a quick story time on how I gave birth to my son after I had a C-section with my daughter. Hurry, go, film me. Beat this face right here. And I'm actually not sure which look exactly I'm going to do, but I'm look cutest regardless, period. Is that how you do it? Whatever. I'm using is this palette that my niece got me from Target. So this is drugstore friendly. It's called Color Story, and I'm using Adorn. Oh. And we're just gonna put that on our lid because y'all know me. I am the neutrals queen, okay? The story. Y'all look at this. Look at this mess. Girl, if you don't just get some new lip gloss. I always forget to get some from Beauty Supply. Look how hard I gotta squeeze it. This is ridiculous. Dang. Why are you like this? Why are you like that? Jesus. So long story short, I had a cesarean with Malia, and I felt like death was upon me. I told myself that I would never have kids again because I never want to go through that again. And so, next thing you know, I'm pregnant. And of course I was happy. Of course I was super excited. But it's like, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I'm like, whoop, 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 I hope it's a boy, da 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 da. Damn, I gotta get another cesarean. So basically, once you get a C-section, you can't have birth any other way. It has to be a C-section. And that's not true. And that's what I've been told my entire life. I've never heard anything different. And so when the time came, I talked to my doctor, and she was like, yeah, you're a perfect candidate for a Vbac. And unfortunately, I ended up moving. So, what color was I using? I'm gonna go back into the eye. So unfortunately, I ended up moving, and I wasn't able to stick with that doctor. I got to the desert, the doctor basically was like, we don't do that, that's dangerous. We will give you a cesarean. Last time I got glued, they were like, this time you're gonna get staples. And I was like, that's barbaric, you better not staple me, like, don't even think about it. He was like, that's what we do, that's how the desert roll, like, that's, you don't have a choice. Basically, they told me I didn't have a choice, I had to get stapled closed. And I'm just like, that sounds crazy, like, staples? It just sounds scary. So after that whole ordeal, I was just like, okay, whatever, like, I'm gonna just get staples. Like, I don't have a choice. Like, I don't have a choice. So that's gonna be the eye. I did one color eye. It's like a burgundy brown. And the rest is we just gonna focus on the face because I'm not about to be here all day trying to, it's already hard enough for me to do makeup. And I already ramble when I talk. I'm not about to try to do both. This is my first chit chat, get ready with me. So we gonna keep it simple, okay? So, face. I'm using Fit Me Poreless. So the doctor was basically like, you don't have a choice. And I decided that I'm not going to go to that doctor. Like, you're crazy. There has to be other choices for me to do. I'm not about to go to that doctor. So I decided to not sign up for them after the hospital tour. And I'm gonna just go into a hospital as an emergency when I'm in labor, because then they won't have no choice but to see me, right? Like, you can't turn me away if I'm in labor. So, which is a horrible idea. Don't listen to that. First of all, that was a horrible idea. You need to have a doctor. You need to have a doctor. You need to talk to your doctor. All that good stuff, okay? I mean, everything I say isn't right. It's just how I think and how I wrote and how I went through the situation, and thank God it worked out. But do not listen to everything I say. That was extremely foolish of me to just not have a doctor. I think it was like my last month of pregnancy, and just to decide I'm gonna go into the emergency room and the first doctor that sees me is gonna deliver my child. Thank God I got somebody that was solid, because some of these doctors don't even like Black women, first of all. Second of all, if they did like Black women, you don't know how like skilled this person is. Like, it just could have went wrong so many ways, and I wouldn't recommend that to nobody. But that's just what happened with me. So let's skip over to the end. I was in labor. I went to an emergency room, which was the plan, and they told me that I was not in labor, that I was just having Braxton Hicks. That's what they told me. She looked me dead in the eye, told me to go home, they're just Braxton Hicks. And that brings me back to my point, like, you don't know what kind of doctor you're getting when you're going to the emergency room, because she was extremely rude. She was, I'm not going to call her the B word because I do not cuss on my channel anymore, but that's exactly how she was acting. She was so unprofessional. She wasn't nurturing. She didn't care that I was pregnant. I was scared and I didn't know what was going on with my body, because I've never actually been in labor before. Malia was a C-section. She didn't come on her own. With Mason, I'm like in pain, I'm crying, I'm like, something's wrong. And then that's how she handled me. Like, she just didn't care, and she sent me home. And of course I believed her because she was the doctor. And after she sent me home, I sat on the bed and I cried. I sat on the bed and I cried. By the way, the light one is tan sand and this one's deep olive. And my fiance basically had enough of me crying. He was like, you can't just sit here and cry. Like, you need to go see someone. Something's wrong. It shouldn't hurt this bad. Like, Braxton Hicks, go away. I was timing them. So I text my sister, who's a nurse, and I told her, I'm like, something's wrong. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know what to do. Help me. Like, help me. Somebody help me. Because that doctor didn't help me at all. Okay? So, I'm like, something's wrong. Please, like, help me. And she's like, well, see if you can time them. I'm like, I'm way ahead of you. I already did. They're like 30 minutes apart. And she's like, if they're 30 minutes apart, that's not Braxton Hicks. Braxton Hicks isn't on the time schedule. Those are contractions, right? So I'm like, Jesus, I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was in labor. I knew it. That's not how I reacted then. But it's like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I knew. You know, I know if something's wrong. Not wrong, but I knew, like, he was coming. You do that right there. That's what I'm smelling. Look. Y'all know my goofy self always smiling, so I always hook up the side of my mouth. But yeah, let me turn this down because I look like Yeah, so y'all can get an idea of what I really look like without all that light. Ooh. Okay, we have to wipe that. We do not want any concealer in the shadow. Y'all, look what my son did. Speaking of him, he bit my beauty blender. I need a new one. I'll be scared to go outside. Oh, Jesus, I'm always rambling. I hate that. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, I knew that I was in labor. I knew it. And so I told my fiance, I'm like, she said I'm in labor. He's coming. This is the time. It was 2 weeks ahead of time. We didn't have no bags, no nothing. Like, we just jumped in the car. Guess what we did? We drove 1 hour and 30 minutes to Los Angeles because the doctors up here don't know what the heck they're talking about, period. So we drove to Los Angeles, the same hospital where I had Malia, and I got an emergency room doctor, and guess what she told me? She said, you're 4 centimeters dilated. Your baby is coming. He's coming soon. It says that you want a C-section. Why not try pushing? And I'm like, I want to push. Like, let's do this. Let's do this. That stuff hurt, okay? It hurts so bad. Oh my God. It would hurt. Ooh. Just thinking about it is giving me chills. But that's what, 2-3 hours of pain is nothing compared to like the weeks and weeks it takes to heal from a C-section. I would never in my life wish a C-section on nobody. And my friends, I think everybody pain tolerance is different because I have a friend that did a C-section and she was back to work immediately. She went right back to work probably like a week after. She said the pain wasn't bad. She got another C-section with her second child. Was that blended? She got another C-section with her second child. And scope. Okay. This is medium to dark. So you see? And so I just put that on my cheeks. And then I go around right there, because we don't want no big foreheads. In labor, he came probably like 3 to 4 hours later. I was in so much pain. I did ask for a C-section eventually, but they just kind of ignored me, which I'm grateful for, because it was, I don't know, childbirth is a lot. It is a lot on the body, and I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't prepared. I didn't think I was getting it after I moved because nobody would touch me. No, I said Vbac and nobody wanted to touch me. So, oh, this video is so long. Okay, let me just, all right, so I ended up having him C-section. That's the story. The emergency room let me push him out. I pushed him out. He was nice, healthy, beautiful baby boy, thank God. Basically, is Vbac safer than a repeat cesarean? Yes, it is. So, although it's not very common in California, it is a very common, like, it's common. People do Vbacs. It's just California doctors are different because you know that they get paid per C-section. So when you do get a C-section, it's surgery. So the doctor gets paid more than if you were to push and have a natural birth. That's why people recommend doulas, especially for Black women. They recommend home births because that's what our body is meant for, is to give birth, is to push out. So if you don't have any complications with your pregnancy, especially if you're not a smoker, like stuff like that, it's like a bunch of like factors into it to where you can have at-home birth. Somebody told me that their doctor said like your kid has to be like 5 or 6 years apart in order to consider a Vbac, and that's completely not true. My kids are a little over a year. It's like a year and some change apart. Malia's 4 and Mason's 2, but it's like, I think they're like 17 months. Success rate for a VBAC is 80%. So please consider it. I highly recommend it. If C-sections don't bother you, then do your thug thizzle. Trying to hurry up because this video is way longer than I expected it to be. Let me go over some more questions and then I'm gonna just finish this look. Does a repeat C-section hurt more? Yes, it does. It's kind of like, you know, like when you get your belly button pierced and then you want to get your belly button pierced again, and then the second time that you get your belly button pierced, it hurts way more than the first time you got your belly button pierced. Yeah, that's how it is with surgery. Did I do the disclaimer that I'm not a doctor, so I'm not 100% sure with these answers, but I'm just speaking from like what I know and what I was told from my friends and family. So don't be on here cussing me out in my comments. No, it don't hurt more, girl. You tripping. Don't do that. If you gonna comment, you gotta comment some positivity, like, baby, congrats on your baby boy or something. Don't be leaving no crazy comments up under my video. There is complications that can happen, and one of them is your uterus can rupture. And if that happens, it is life-threatening. And you will need an emergency C-section. So all I can really recommend with Vbac is do your research. Don't let these doctors tell you what you can and can't do. Do your research and decide for yourself. Yes, I put my lashes on with my hands. Like, don't judge me. Okay. Mind your business, okay? I'm just kidding. Don't leave. Finish watching the video. I'm almost done. So one of these days, I'm gonna just stop being a ghetto mess and use tools that's actually meant to be used. Because my whole life is just one big ghetto hack. Like, the end result is so much better. Like, look at that. You know, look. Just when I notice when I add more than one shade of highlighter, it adds dimension. So look at that. Let me turn it. Why is it so bright? Yeah, I could see that better. And then right there. All right, setting spray now. Setting spray just kind of blends everything together. Hoops or studs? Hoops or studs? What y'all think? I don't know. I wish y'all could just tell me right now. All right, leave a comment and let me know if you like the hoops or the hoops or the studs. But I'm done. Okay, love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.